Welcome to The Explainer. The West Bengal election is really heating up, and after the first phase, we saw something incredible, a huge voter turnout. This led Union Home Minister Amit Shah to make some pretty bold claims. So today, we're going to break down exactly what he said at that pivotal press conference. All right, so what's on the agenda? We're going to start with that record-breaking voter turnout, the number that kicked this whole thing off. Then we'll get into the BJP's big victory prediction and what they're actually promising voters. After that, we'll look at the pretty serious allegations of corruption they're throwing around. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at a really sharp personal back and forth that kind of shows you what this whole political battle is about.
Okay, so the whole story here, it all really kicks off with just one number. Not a political statement, not a promise, but one single, pretty staggering number. Yep, almost 93%. Now, think about that for a second. In any election, that is a massive number. So this wasn't just some statistic on a spreadsheet, right? It became the foundation for the BJP's whole argument about which way the political winds were blowing in Bengal.
So for Amit Shah, this wasn't just a number. Not at all. He basically framed it as a clear signal from the people. He argued that a turnout that high could only mean one thing. People were showing up in droves to vote for change, to vote for a new government. Okay, but how do you get from a high turnout number to predicting a landslide victory? It's a big leap, right? Well, let's see exactly how the BJP connected those dots. This was the soundbite, the line that was everywhere. It's a direct shot at the current chief minister, Mamata Banerjee, who everyone calls Didi. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's designed to frame this election as a two-horse race where, according to him, the winner is already clear.
And look, this wasn't just talk. Shah put a hard number on it. He claimed that, according to the BJP's own internal polling, they were already set to win more than 110 seats, just from the first phase. I mean, that is an incredibly bold claim to be making this early in the game. All right, so they've made this super confident prediction. But what's the actual pitch? What is the BJP promising the voters of West Bengal if they get in? Well, the press conference spelled out their main platform pretty clearly. It really comes down to three main things. First, they're talking big about women's safety and getting tough on crime. Second, a promise of clean government, no corruption, full transparency. And third, they're really pushing this idea of local leadership, promising that the chief minister will be a son of the soil, someone born in Bengal who speaks Bengali fluently.
But, it's politics. So, along with making promises, a huge chunk of Shah's time was spent going on the attack, pointing fingers directly at the current government's record.
And he didn't just make vague accusations. He threw out a massive number, over 10,000 crore rupees. He claimed this money was tied up in more than 30 different scams. And to show they were serious, he promised that a BJP government would bring in a retired Supreme Court judge to investigate it all, to make sure someone is held accountable. He also kept bringing up this one specific term, pay-po tax. Now this was basically his catchphrase for what he described as a system of extortion run by syndicates, targeting businesses and traders all over the state. And he promised that a BJP government would go after this system and shut it down hard. So the press conference wasn't all big-picture strategy and huge numbers. It got pretty personal, too. Things zoomed in on a very specific political jab between Prime Minister Modi and the Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee.
Someone asked about Mamata Banerjee criticizing a recent boat ride the Prime Minister took on the Ganga, and Shah jumped to defend it. He basically said, look, this wasn't some political photo op. He framed it as a way for the PM to connect with people and to remind everyone of that big promise to clean up the Ganga River. Who could possibly have a problem with that, he asked.
And this is where you see just how sharp and quick this campaign is. The chief minister's response was to immediately pivot. She fired back by asking about the state of the Yamuna River right in Delhi, the nation's capital, where of course the BJP-led central government is in charge. It was a classic move, turning the criticism right back on her opponent. So what's the big takeaway here? The BJP is looking at this incredible turnout and saying, see, the tide is turning. This is our moment. They've built this whole narrative of victory around that one number. But as you know in politics, a high turnout isn't always so simple. It can mean a lot of different things. So the real question is, did all those people in Bengal come out to vote for change? Or did they come out to defend what they already have? We'll have to wait for the final results to really know that story.